headed on to, well, headed to Europe now.
By way of many cities first.
Kansas City, New York, Stockholm, and then we land in Berlin. About to start boarding. Both tired. I think he's more tired than me. Got a little cramped on your flight. You can always just go stand in the bathroom for a minute. Especially before anybody has used it. It doesn't smell bad, like right now. Just stretch out. So when you're going to be traveling for 24 hours, give or take, you want to be comfortable, but you also don't want to look like a complete slob. So what we got today is a white t-shirt, nice J. Crew sweatpants, the new Marin case. What do you got, Nikki?
Sweater.
Lovely sweater.
A heart shirt appropriate for honeymoons. Comfy pants.
Comfy pants.
Sneakers.
Now we're sitting at JFK International Airport. Our flight begins boarding in 1 minute.
Woo!
Supposedly. You getting settled.
Buckling up.
Decided that we're very tired. And we've just been chilling in the park in Stockholm. Walked around for a bit. Now we're just watching a singing stump sing.
That's true. We realized if we come back to Stockholm, when we come back to Stockholm, there's an old town that's the oldest preserved medieval city in Europe. So that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, we're about to go back to the station, and then back to the airport, into Berlin, and sleep. We made it to Berlin.
Yay!
We had brats and potato salad and wine.
One bite left.
Literally 100 yards from the airport. We're chilling in the park, about 200 yards away from Reichstag. It's a really pretty day. And we're just hanging out in the park for a minute. I think he's figuring out Insta stories.
Trying. Yeah.
We're gonna go over to Tiergarten next. Look at that cool monument. And then Brandenburg Gate, which is also under construction. Yeah, I will say, tourist season is bad to go places because there's tourists everywhere. Non-tourist season, everything's under construction. Also, Google Translate is the best thing in the world.
Yes.
Best app for traveling that I've found so far. That and Globe Convert. But the Google Translate, as long as you have a specific language downloaded, you can just open the camera, point it at it, and it'll tell you what it says.
Like
in
signs,
real time.
menus.
Yeah. So we were able to order from a menu in complete German.
It's true.
It's friggin' awesome.
It's cool. We're at the Victory Column in Berlin, which was built when the first bunch of German states came together to form the German Empire in 1873.
Oh, yeah.
Men and small girls, naked, were herded at gunpoint ever further along the fence which led directly to the gas chambers. And the naked women were forced just as brutally into the barracks. There, their heads were shaven. I knew exactly the moment when each person grasped what awaited him or her. Anxiety mixed with despair, cries, and terrible wailing. The men were the first to be pushed into the gas chambers. The Jewish work crews counted 750 in each chamber. When the last of the 6 chambers was full, those in the first chamber had been suffering already for 2 hours. Then the motor was started. The carbon monoxide killed the people. The cries for help, screams, the desperate sobs of those locked inside lasted 10 to 15 minutes, horribly loud, then growing more quiet. And finally, there was silence.
Unplanned stop number 1, Königstein Castle, Fortress. As you can tell from the sound of my breath, it's a hike up here.
I still remember looking up and counting every star with you. At 15, we're so sure we know who we are. I knew that you were all I would need. Happiness was between.
Might end up being the jewel of the whole trip.
It's so cool.
It is a super neat, giant fortress in the middle of German countryside.
Right on the border of Germany and Czech Republic. You could easily spend a day or more here.
I'd say more. You could. There's 50 buildings up there. So if you're in the south of Germany,
wear your hiking shoes.
wear your hiking shoes and head on up to Königstein.
Check it out, yeah.
Chasing our dreams, we find that life's not what it seems when we're growing up. When we're growing
All these people going the opposite direction.
Yeah, why?
I'm just stoked to explore Prague. I've been wanting to come here for like 3 years now.
Party in the night, oh, and it was all I would need. Happiness was between my dreams and my feet, and if I'd fall, they would be right beside me to bring me to life. We're growing up, we cut our teeth. We find that love is not so easy. We're growing up, we're chasing our dreams. We find that life's not what it seems. When we're growing, I've learned through the bittersweet to hold the roses in between the thorns. To rise up with broken wings and press on even when it seems the storms will throw me down. 'Cause we're growing up.
So instead of walking around in the rain, we're gonna go about halfway back to our apartment and get something to eat, chill indoors for a bit, and not be wet.
Growing up, we cut our teeth. We find that love is not so easy. We're growing up.
We're in St. Vitus's Cathedral, and it is pretty stunning.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty stunning.
You can hear the organ playing.
Yeah, it's great. We're gonna go to a basilica next.
Counting every star, waiting